Where are you from?
I'm from Pasadena, California, so close by.
What was your first break?
My first break, like my first job, my first job was a really small role in the pilot of The Affair on Showtime. It's fun.
What have you been in?
I've been in The Affair. I understudied a play called The Comets of Pensacola. I have been in Red Band Society. I've been in Blood and Oil, and now I might go do a play. We'll see.
How do you feel about this career?
It's hard sometimes. It drives you a little bit nutso. So you got to find things that keep you grounded. But you know, the moment when you're in front of a camera and you get to tell a story and make people feel things and hopefully reach them, it's worth it.
How did you decide to become an actor?
I didn't really decide. It was just something that it kept nagging me, sort of, and I thought to myself, well, everyone wants to be an actor, and it's just something you have to get over. And then in my last year of college, I realized that wasn't really true, and that if I didn't pursue it, I would regret it forever.
How would you describe your specialty or type?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea. I feel like it's one of those things where you think, like, I'm so, like, goofy and weird and blah, and, like, everyone else does not see you that way, and so it's like, I don't know. I guess I'm still trying to figure that out. And but I like to pursue roles that challenge my type. I don't always get them, but I like to pursue them.
Who's your favorite actor who you look up to?
That's a really big question. I think I really look up to Julianne Moore a lot. She's had a really varied career. She started on a soap opera. I mean, she really climbed that ladder and just made a lot of interesting artistic choices, and she's a phenomenal actress, and I would die to have a career like that.
What would your ideal job be?
My ideal job would be working on a movie that I wrote, that I get to be in, but not direct. I would like to work with a really cool director and collaborate on it. That would be my ideal project.
Do you consider yourself to be lucky?
I do consider myself to be very lucky. I look at what's happening in the world to most people, and my life is pretty blessed, so I have no complaints.
What advantages do you have?
Well, I think the advantages I had were, a very supportive family of what I wanted to do. I've had a great education. I've had the support of friends as well, just, in pursuing whatever it was, whatever it took. Everyone was just there for me, and I think it would be really hard to do that without someone saying, we believe in you, and we're going to, help you with give you the resources that you need to make it happen.
What did you do before?
Well, when I graduated college and I was in acting school, I was a tutor. I was a French and Spanish and SAT tutor. So I was doing school and running around the city and tutoring kids, and then going back and forth to rehearsal. And that was the job I had while I was in school, and then also when I started auditioning. And then about 8 months after I started auditioning, I booked a job on Red Band Society, which took me away from New York, and so I left the tutoring thing behind, but it was something I enjoyed.
Would you rather have a car or a diploma?
A diploma.
What do you think about the need for instant gratification?
I think I think it distracts us from things that are really important. Being present in a moment with your friends, because you need to look at the Instagram you just posted, and I mean, if you have an Instagram, we're probably all guilty of it, because you're like, let me, I think it's that comedian Dimitri Martin who's like, let me reminisce immediately. It's so unnecessary. But yeah, I think it just can take you away from living your life in the moment.
How do you feel about how interconnected the world is becoming?
I think on one hand it's amazing. It allows us access to people and places that we could have never even dreamed of. And then on the other hand, it's scary, you know, privacy is an issue, safety is an issue. So with the good comes the bad, but the world is ever changing. It's the one constant, and we can't avoid it.
What does the future look like to you?
I have no idea. It doesn't exist yet. Hopefully it's good.
How do you feel about having children?
I would love to have children. I want to wait a while. I'm not nearly patient enough to have children at this point in my life. I would probably go crazy, and I probably wouldn't be a very good mom at this point, but I would really like to be a mom, and I'd like to be a good one, so I'll wait.
What challenges do you feel the world is facing today?
So many challenges. I mean, obviously, this conversation comes just after Paris was attacked, and that's a city that's really close to my heart. I feel like the biggest challenge we face is, strangely, one of the challenges that's always existed. It's always been a culture clash, and religions, or wars over religions, and, you know, basically imposing, people feeling the need to impose their beliefs on another group of people, and it goes both ways. And I think that going forward, that's going to be one of the biggest problems that the world is having to deal with, you know, that especially people having such easy access to weapons and guns. It's really easy to walk in somewhere and attack a group of people. It could happen anywhere at any time. I think the challenge we're going to face is preventing that. I think poverty feeds terror, fear feeds terror, and we've got to work from the bottom up in terms of those issues to fix things.
What is your favorite way to communicate?
In person, face to face. I think it's the best way to communicate, especially for me, because a lot of times people tell me that I have resting bitch face, and that my text messages are very curt, because I'll just be like, okay, and like to me I'm like, okay, or like, sure, but in the text message it sounds very cold. So for me, I like to talk to someone face to face, otherwise I find myself being misunderstood.
What do you think of the creative scene in Los Angeles?
I haven't spent very much time in Los Angeles, so I don't know what to think of it yet. I still have to form an opinion. I lived in New York for 4 years after college, and then I moved to Atlanta, and then I just came back from Park City. So, and now I might be going back to New York for a couple months. It's exciting because it's something I get to explore now.
What is your favorite book, film, and music right now?
Okay, let's see. My favorite book. It's a really tough question. How are you supposed to choose that type of thing? One of my favorite books is The Collector by John Fowles. It's just a fascinating story. I read more plays, and some of my favorite plays are Rocket to the Moon by Clifford Odets, and A View from the Bridge, Arthur Miller. Those are two of my favorite playwrights. And Eurydice by Sarah Roll. And music, I'm really... my best friend who's sitting inside, she's like, you listen to really sad music, but I like music that makes me feel something. So I've been listening to the new Adele album, which is fantastic. I'm not sure if that's my favorite, but it's very, very good. And what was the third one you asked me about?
Film.
Well, my favorite movie is There Will Be Blood, and I also really love some classic movies like His Girl Friday and The Bicycle Thief. Those would be among some of my favorite movies. It's so hard. It's like impossible to choose, you know, but yeah. Gives you an idea.
Right.
Yeah.